Good evening. It is Kurt Soderberg, and I am going to present a data set for assignment one. And we'll be looking at the pre-ACT, ACT score comparison for a class of 2020 at St. Croix Central High School. We'll be looking at sample size and mean, median, mode, range, standard deviation, variance calculations. For calculations, I used the resource provided in class for how to program um, give commands inside of a spreadsheet to do the calculations. Again, an overview of our data set. It's a class of 2020. We have 96 students, and so that will serve as our full population. So I used that in our calculations. I did not use the sample calculation. Our sample size, as I mentioned, is 96. We had a mean or an average score on the pre-ACT of 21.14, and I found the range to be 20, which is the maximum score minus the minimum score. And then we found the 21 to be our median, which is the 50th percentile mark. And then for our mode, or the most frequent score, it was a 19. On the ACT, same sample size, obviously. The mean or the average was 21.07. Our range was 21. Maximum score minus the minimum score gave us 21. The median or 50th percentile mark was a 20, and the mode or most frequent was also a 20. This is an overview of the calculations. You can see that we've got all the major calculations here leading to this presentation. So let's take a look at that comparison more closely. So the mean change, the mean value of the ACT minus the mean value of the pre-ACT is a minus 0.06. So a slight drop in our mean composite ACT. The median change, we had the middle score, that is, was 21. On the pre-ACT, 8 students had a 21, and on the ACT, 13 students had a 20, and that median marks the middle score, and that was a 1.0 drop from the pre-ACT to the ACT. The mode, or the most frequent score, was an increase by 1. The range change value, so the value derived from subtracting the minimum score from the maximum score, the change was a 1.0 increase from pre-ACT to ACT. I also calculated the individual range or change value to be 12. And what I was looking at here was what was the highest change, the most positive change a student made, and that was a 7-point change from the pre-ACT to ACT score, and the most significant drop was a -5 between the pre-ACT and ACT, for a total individual change range of 12. I'll talk more about that in just a little bit in regards to what that means to a school leader. Variance change value from the pre-ACT to the ACT was 2.68, and the variance tells us how spread apart the data is, basically how far it varies from the mean. Standard deviation calculation change value was 0.31. Pre-ACT was a 4.15, and ACT was a 4.46. And when you're looking at standard deviation, the smaller the number, the more clustered the data is going to be around the mean. And then the larger the number, obviously, the further dispersed it is from the mean. Looking at some discussion points, overall the data remained very stable. Not a huge discussion point there at all. The mean score did drop by 0.6 or minus 0.06, and the range increased by 1.0. But to me, the most significant discussion point for a building leader is the individual range. In looking at individual students, we do our ACT prep with them individually based on their needs. And I think it's important that we talk to students about the significant drop or the significant gain that they made between the pre-ACT and the ACT. Was it sickness? Was it preparation? Was it lack of preparation? Was something going on? Those are the conversations that we need to have. So in this case, the data drove us to be able to have those conversations with kids. We do goal setting around our scores, and this is perfect talking point for that. Um, Most of our kids want to do the very best that they can, but something happened there to the -5, and something happened in terms of the significant +7 gain. And +7 could be a matter of the student just didn't try in the pre-ACT because it didn't count for anything. It's hard to say, but those conversations need to happen. Goal setting needs to happen, and the proper data can help us get to those things. That's my presentation. I appreciate your time and look forward to any feedback that I can get. Thank you.